I'm Isabel Buckley, the artist behind Izzy's Art, and today I want to talk to you about white colour pencils. You know, are you feeling frustrated with the white colour pencil you're using? You know, maybe you find your white is just not white enough for what you're trying to achieve. No matter what brand or brands of colour pencil you enjoy drawing with, you may be wondering whether you actually have the best white colour pencil to use. So, today I'm going to share with you my top 3 choices of whites. Now, before I go into the different whites available, I just want to clarify what I mean by best white. So for me, I want my white to look bright and pure. You know, I don't want it to look dull and grey. I want it to have good coverage of the paper. There are lots of brands of colour pencil available on the market, and whilst I don't have every single one of them, I do have quite a wide choice of the popular brands. Now, before I share my top 3, I just want to share with you the results of some of the other pencils that I've tried out with you, just for comparison and so you can see how they perform. So I've got a selection of 6 white coloured pencils here, as you can see. Now I'm going to start with these 3 to begin with, before I actually move on to my top 3 choices. Now, we've got the Polychromos here, the Prismacolor, and the Lightfast by Derwent. Now, as you can see, I've done a heavy pressure and a light pressure test for each of them. Now, if you compare just those ones alone, what you will notice is that the Polychromos actually fares the worst out of these ones, to be fair. It's not as bright as these two. It has a slightly grey tinge to the white. It doesn't have such a good coverage about it. The Prismacolor and the Lightfast fare a little bit better, but when you compare them to my top 3 in a minute, you will notice that they lack a little bit of punch to them still. So they're still pretty good white pencils. You know, I have used both of these ones in the past for different things, but you will see where they're quite bright with the white. They're not as bright as they could be. So let's have a little look at my top 3 whites, as it were. So let me just move this down. And before I tell you what they each are, let's just have a little look at them. Okay. What you will notice straight off, I hope, is that these 3 whites, particularly when applied with a firm pressure, are much brighter and clearer than these 3 whites that we've got up here. They have all 3 of these have a great coverage when applied to black paper. They're all quite creamy, which obviously helps with that coverage of the paper. And I haven't ordered these top 3 simply because I think they're all amazing pencils. They're all slightly different, as I will show you in a minute, but I think if you had any of these 3, you would get on well if you were looking for that really white pencil to be using. So you may now be wondering, well, what on earth are they? So let's have a little look. So we have, first off, the Luminance by Caran d'Ache. Now, the Luminance pencil, this white one, is quite a creamy pencil. And it's quite soft to use, which helps, obviously, you know, filling in the tooth of the paper and making it, you know, look, give that punchy white. And it happens to be one of my favourite whites to use. And I think the reason being, really, is because I tend to use luminance pencils most of all in my drawings. I do use some of the others as well, but luminance are my go-to pencils. I know what they feel like. So for me, using the white luminance kind of is just a natural fit. So that tends to be the pencil that I personally use the most. We then have another Caran d'Ache pencil, the Museum Aquarelle. Now, this pencil's a little bit different to the other two because it's actually a watercolour pencil. So that means that you can use it dry or you can use it wet. Now, here is the dry versions of them, and as you can see, good coverage, the same as the other ones we've got here. And you then, when you wet it, I've just done a little test here so you can see. If you put plenty of pencil down when you wet it, you can get a really white. If you don't have very much, as you can see here, just the light pressure of white pencil, and you apply white to it, you'll see that it doesn't have such a good coverage. It's not as intense, it's a bit more see-through. So if you're looking for that real white and you want to use it wet, then obviously you need to apply more pencil to your paper first. But that one has the versatility, obviously, of being able to use dry or wet. And then finally, we have the Derwent Drawing Chinese White. Now, this is a very popular white pencil amongst artists. It's quite similar to the Luminance. I find it is soft and creamy, but they just have that sort of slight hardness to it. It's difficult to explain, really, but it's a really good white. If you want to get that really crisp, bright white. As I said, I haven't ordered them 1, 2, 3 for the simple reason that I think they're all pretty similar to each other in terms of kind of that depth of white that they can create, and they all perform extremely well, and they each have kind of their own qualities about them. So it depends upon what you are looking for in a pencil. As I said, the Luminance is my personal favourite because it's my go-to pencil, but I would be very happy to use any of these 3 pencils if I was looking for a white, because they pack a punch on black paper and they look bright and pure. I hope you found this video helpful. If you would like to see more top tips, mini how-to videos and tutorials, then subscribe to my channel and check out the links in the description where you can sign up for my newsletter and social media pages. If you've got any questions or suggestions about colour pencils, then do let me know in the comments below. Happy drawing!